Alright, welcome back guys. This video here, I'm going to do a little intro to AN fittings. Got some stuff laid out here. I'm working on this 2017 WRX STi with the EJ. Stock location, turbo upgrade. We're doing fuel lines, bunch of other stuff. Air oil separator, cob intake, got a front mount intercooler, radiator. There's a whole bunch of stuff inside the car. I think one of those head units that you guys all like to get. But right now, we're going to talk about AN fittings. So, there are three types, and I have those right here. So you have push lock, you have your standard AN, and then there is PTFE. I'm going to put the camera down here and show you all the tools we need. There's little Enzo. He's down here just chilling with Dad, right? Enjoying the day. So there's my little workbench here where I do my stuff. So push lock is probably your easiest one to work with for like any kind of beginner. It's as easy as it sounds. This here, I believe, is a Russell fitting. This is a -6, so that would be 0.375 diameter. AN, if you're not familiar, like every two numerical numbers, like -2 would be like 1/8. -16 would be 1 inch, so it kind of works like that. -10, ½ inch. So this is push lock. So this one would be working with just standard fuel hose. You don't have to get any kind of special equipment or anything for these. This happens to be, this is -8 hose from Radium. I didn't have any -6 just lying around. But main gist of this is you just push it in. It's normally a little bit more difficult. You want to put the fitting in a vise and then, you know, lubricate. Sometimes I apply a bit of heat, and then push those on. So that's push lock. Next one is your standard AN. This is a Fergola fitting. Now these are designed to kind of crush onto the hose. So this one here has this little nut which threads on to the actual fitting part. You can see it's threaded, and this goes into your standard regular AN hose. So if I were to be installing it on this, and again I have -8 hose here, so not really going to be able to show you, but main gist of that is you push this on over the hose, and then you take this end, you insert it into the nut, and then you just kind of tighten it down. And next is the one I prefer. It's our polytetrafluoroethylene fittings, or PTFE for short. These are my favorite by far. XRP. I got these from Drew over at Penguin Garage. He's been my guy for anything AN fitting or adapter for the last couple of years. Really helped me out through this build. These ones are unique, and okay, you have your nut that comes off, and then they have this little olive inside, and then of course your fitting. Now this hose, this is the hose that's actually for that. You can see there's like a liner in here that's actually PTFE lining. This hose here is called a Pro Plus XM Extra Temp monofilament. So it has, you know, the PTFE lining, and then it has this outer sheath here, which is, this stuff is really nice, really flexible, easy to work with, really easy to build fittings for. I have another competing brand of PTFE hose that I've used in the past. It's on a lot of stuff on my car, like my entire fuel system. This is from Vibrant. So as you can see, this one's a little bit different in structure. So you have your PTFE lining, that's like the white colored, and then it has like a stainless overbraid, and then it has the black nylon covering over it. So these ones, I'll show you how it looks installed. This here is a -10. So that's introduction to these things. I'll put this on over here, out of the way. Oh, here's a push lock fitting assembled. This is from my old fuel line setup from Radium. I believe this was the return line from the fuel pressure regulator back to the hanger. So you can see like the fittings just push in here, and they have that barb that locks in place inside of the hose, and then you can pull all you want, but that's not coming out of there without significant, either you got to cut it or use some other means to get it off of there. So let me get this stuff out of the way here. I'll trip and injure myself. And then the last one, this box actually just turned up. I'll show you the unboxing video now, but what came in that box is these are XRP HS79 clamshell fittings. These ones are really unique. So they don't have a threaded end at all. These are designed to go over a double or single O-ring like this. So this is actually a -8 O-ring boss. So this is going to go into my radiator, which is basically the radiator balance over to the header tank. So these ones go on, snap like that, and then they'll use, I don't have a -8 clamshell here. This is just a 20 for reference, but you get one of these beautiful little things here. XRP Wigan style clamshell. So you would, I don't have a -20 female here to show you, but this is -20 O-ring boss for my radiator, either inlet or outlet. But there's this groove here, and that'll go around there and then clamp in place and holds it tight, but it does allow for just a little bit of movement. You know, car's gonna flex a little bit. Another thing I'd like to show you about XRP and what makes them special is one key thing here. So these fittings here are both -6. This one's the Fregola, this one's the XRP. As you can see, the holes, the inside diameter is way different. The XRP in a -6 for these reusable PTFE fittings actually comes in a -6 plus, which is 0.394 of an inch inside diameter. The Fregola, it's supposed to be 0.375 for, you know, -6, but I imagine if I were to get the micrometer, I think we'd find that that's a little bit less. So I hear a little Enzo making a little bit of noise, so I'm gonna stop now, and I'm gonna give him a bottle. I don't think he's crying, but he might just want some attention. So I'm gonna stop here, and then I'll move on and show you a little bit more about like tools I use and kind of process of putting these things together. That's it for right now. I'll be back. All right, now that I've showed you guys all of that, I just stalked the UPS man. He was avoiding me. He was down the Dollar General. He was driving all around. He was doing everything he could but come to my house. But he's finally got this parcel that I've been waiting on from Drew. So I'm gonna do an unboxing video. This is a box. There are things in it. I'm gonna take them out of it. I'm doing this properly with a knife, not a pair of scissors. Dewey. All right, and good thing that there's candy because I'm hungry. We will save this for later. Love sour candy. Knife away. We've got some, packing, obviously. And now we've got bubble wrap for the kids. More candy. This is going to be quite interesting. I'm going to put that to the side for now. Got more packing material. We have here a box. Oh, I know what these are. These are spacers for my intake manifold. Have front-facing intake manifold, and my power steering pump is relocated. As a result, it kind of hits the throttle body. So these aluminum spacers from Illuminati will resolve that. Very nice. And another box. Ooh, got some wheel spacers. Oh, this is a hodgepodge. Goodness. Yes. So, got some Project Kicks wheel spacers for my two TEs. It is TE Tuesday. My Bluetooth speaker is going crazy. Got some ARP extended studs. And some hub-centric spacers. We will put those on later. Alright, what else we got here? This is, oh my god, we have to unbox another box. Using my trusty Benchmade knife that I've had since like 2018. This thing's been great to me. It's a, I believe a 490 Arcane flipper. Works great. Oh yes. These are some XRP fittings. So these are from a radiator. -20 O-ring boss to double O-ring clamshell. We have, that is the -16 low profile for the coolant crossover orbs. Ooh, we got a nice crimp. Dash, very big. I think that's a 16. Yeah, that's a 16. That's a 16 as well. So we'll put those in there. And to the side. Yeah, I should have done this unboxing on a table. This bending over is for the birds. Normally I would be kind of falling over, but since my injection on Friday, I'm feeling better, but I'm gonna take a knee and move this box out. Of course, we got some stickers. Oh, that's a perfect color. Cherry blossom pink stuff. And Penguin Garage sticker. Packing material. And what do we got here? We have, oh yes, -8 clamshell fittings. Yummy. I had Drew get me those in just about like every angle that you can imagine so that I can mock things up. We got some more orb fittings for radiator and the crossover delete. This is an orb for the radiator to header tank and double O-ring clamshell. These are some nice, those are -20 fittings. More -8s, those look like some 90s. Probably gonna use a lot of those. It's a -8 180. These are push lock. I need those for my 3MI hose and something else. Think to retrofit the air oil separator coolant lines, because the bottom fittings on those, I can't seem to find an O-ring fitting that'll fit in there. This is an adapter with a 1/8 NPT. This is for coolant out of the back of the passenger cylinder head, and then I'm going to be running coolant to the electronic wastegate from there. Got another push lock there. We got some more clamshells, -8 fittings. We have, ooh yes, okay, so a couple extra olives for the -6 plus for the fuel lines I'm doing on this 2017 STi in front of me. Clamshell. It's all you, Steph. I love the purple. That is a fitting at 1/8 NPT 2-4. And we've got some more -8 clamshells in more angles. So we got lots of stuff here to play with. I'm gonna wrap this up for now and enjoy some candy. Have a quick drink, maybe some lunch, and then I'll get back going. That'll be it for now. Thanks. Totally forgot during my unboxing sequence about this item here. This is actually one of my custom-made coolant tanks that Drew got me hooked up with Rob over at Track Tough. We're gonna open this beauty up here. I have a swirl pot, dual entry, and a header tank that are made. Drew sent me this for now, probably just to get me a little excited. He's doing the pressure testing on the header tank and the swirl pot, making sure it holds pressure the way it's supposed to. But we're gonna unwrap this piece here. Now this is gonna replace my OEM overflow, which went bye-bye long time ago once the core support came out. And this is my new overflow. Track Tough. This I believe is 3" by, I want to say 8 inches, if my eyes aren't deceiving me, maybe 7, 8. It's got a -4 male flare in. Nice threaded cap. Pressure relief inside of there. So no more the days when you know, your OEM overflow decides to pop that little plastic lid and just splash coolant all over you. For you guys that see some high temperatures, this is my solution for that. My local fabricator, Anthony, he'll be making the bracket for this once we find a place in the car for it. See, Rob does some really nice welding here. This is quite pretty. So very impressed with that. So that is that. Forgot to unbox that when I did the last one. I got all nervous and jerky when I saw all those fittings and got excited. So there's that. I'll add that to the little video. Thanks, guys. All right, now we're going to go over the fuel system on this 2016 STi. I kind of started things over the course of the winter. The car's been left here with me over the winter, kind of for storage and for me to tinker with, because there's a lot of parts to be installed onto it. It was quite cold down here, even though the garage is heated. It's been very cold, and now near almost May, it's finally getting to the point where I can sustain human life down here without freezing to death. So I figured now is a good time to just, now that I've started making videos, I'll show you guys how I do my fuel system. Got everything kind of started here. There's the stock hard lines. I already have one done. That's the feed line. The return line is the little guy underneath there. So I haven't built that yet, but I have the feed into the Y, into the fuel rails, and then got to get back to the regulator down here to the little flex fuel kit. So let's go over to the workbench here and I'll show you kind of what I have going for this. Of course, here I have my plans all drawn up, links, the fitting angles, all of that I have mapped out prior to getting this going, just kind of based on past experience with other pre-assembled kits. I kind of just decided to make my own because I didn't really love the way some of them were designed. So since we're going the firewall forward on this and to the OEM hard lines, we need adapters for the hard lines. So for the factory lines, it's a 5/16 inch to -6 adapter. To the flex fuel sensor, they're 3/8 to -6. Then using XRP -6 plus PTFE race reusable fittings. So I have a wide array of different angles. My buddy Pat, he elected for these nice pretty gold colors as opposed to the black. I think it's a nice touch. And then we have our Pro Plus XM extra temp monofilament is the hose that we have remaining here. Tools, I have the good old Vibrant hose cutter, IAG AN wrenches, and then I have this this one's Vibrant branded, but I've seen other manufacturers throw their name on the exact same wrench. It's a hose spreader tool and some little miniature diagonal cutting pliers. And we got the little vise and jaws for AN fittings. This one here is made of aluminum, and that one there is plastic. So depends on the type of fitting I'm using and how much it kind of moves around, whether I use the plastic or the aluminum. So that is these are the tools I use. So I'm gonna get making some lines here. I believe on the last one I'll give you guys a quick tutorial on how to do it. So that'll be it for now. I'll be back after I make a couple lines, and then I'll show you guys how to do one for yourselves. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to assemble a PTFE fitting. So I've got my hose cut to length. I'm going to use this hose spreader tool. This right here, diameter is the size 4-6. So you just gently insert this into the hose, pull out, and you'll see the opening is now round. Very, very critical step. Put your nut on. If you don't put your nut on and then you install the olive, you are, as they say, it's one of those words you can use that's you're in a bad position, without swearing. That's my word. All right, so we got the nut on, and then we need to install the olive. This goes, in this case, over the PTFE liner, but under the braid. Now this XRP hose is great. It doesn't have that stainless lining that I'll show you guys in another hose. I think I showed it earlier. but the stainless can really make a mess of your fingers. So now that olive isn't quite seated yet, so I take it against a flat surface. Top of the vise here, press down. We are fully seated, hose even. We are all good. So now, tighten the nut into the vise jaws, get it all secure. Now you can see that's not going anywhere. And then we take lubricant, this is engine oil. Get some on our finger. We put it on the threads of the fitting, liberally. And as an added measure, I put some in there too. I'm gonna wipe off my hand. The next part, this is about the trickiest part on these guys, is you have to stick that in there. And now we're seated up against there. And then this needs to go inside of here. And then we're going to put our wrench on. So it requires the use of some downward force to get this to start threading. And you want to be careful to ensure that you are threading evenly. I use the adjustable AN wrench to kind of apply even pressure to it. I don't quite have it tight enough so it's slipping on me. Okay, here we go. Immense downward pressure. This can be uncomfortable on your hands, which it is being. These angled fittings, they give you a heck of a time getting them in. Alright, we are started. You can feel the thread engagement is nice and crisp. So I'm going to remove the adjustable, grab the -6 that my trusty assistant Al Borland has put somewhere else. There we go. So we got the regular -6 B nut side. And we're just going to tighten this guy home. These XRP are also very nice in the fact that you know when they're fully seated because threads simply stop threading. Some other manufacturers, it's like, oh yeah, leave a little gap, but not these guys. So this one, let me wipe it off for you. So we can show one perfectly assembled 90-degree PTFE fitting from our friends over at Penguin Garage and XRP. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and get this fitted to the, this is going from the flex fuel, and then the other end of the hose is going to be going back to the return line to the tank. So I'm going to get that all measured up and cut, and then put the other fitting on. And this is the last hose I have to make, so stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm back. I got everything assembled here. All lines are created, all lines are in the car, tightened up, all ready to go, looking good. Everything's tightened down. Did a fuel pressure check. We did have a little leak coming from the regulator. One of the return lines had the O-ring boss going into it had a torn O-ring. No fault of my own though, the regulator was a secondhand used unit. So I found one here in the spare parts bin, replaced that, and then checked pressure again, and then like a dumbass I forgot that the gauge port on the regulator was not plugged, so threw a plug in there, and now we are all good to go. Fuel pressure is looking good, so I'll show you fuel system. Dropping a little flashlight, and it's out of batteries anyway, it's dead. Alright, so we got our feed in return here. Feed line runs down into the Y here. Y distributes to passenger side, driver side. This is front of the rail where it goes back to the return on the regulator. Driver side, down under there, and return to the regulator. And then our fuel pressure regulator return, down in there, comes down and around into the flex fuel sensor, out of the flex fuel sensor, and back up to the return line. So that's everything on that. Fuel system on this is good to go, no leaks, good pressure. At this point, just gotta, I think we're missing a few little items on this car to get it moving. I think we need a fuel pressure sensor and the updated flex fuel kit for the green speed compliance, but outside of that, I think it's I can kind of assemble things up here. Got a little gauge adapter down here for oil pressure, so I can plug that up. I think my buddy Patrick's gonna buy that dual Innovate Motorsports pressure temperature gauge, so that'll be the place for that. But I got to plumb the air oil separator, the lines for the Killer Bee inlet here, and put the intake manifold on, gaskets, all that stuff. Throw the wiring harness in, plug it in, make sure everything else is all good. Fuel pump, I think we might be going with a radium hanger on this one, but I'm not 100% on that. We'll have to check with him, but well, that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed my little build of the fuel system here. If you like it and you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, because I keep making more because it's actually quite fun. So see you guys next time. Thanks.